Very good morning to students. Today we are going to learn about the thick seam mining methods. Well, today's topic is the thick seam mining in slicing methods, where a type of slicing method inclined horizontal with caving with stowing and also sublevel caving. These are the we are going to learn in this lecture. So slicing method, particularly there are different type of slicing methods out there. In which the main slicing methods are inclined slicing, horizontal slicing, diagonal slicing, traverse inclined slicing, in which from come to the first one, inclined slicing. In inclined slicing are taken parallel to the roof and floor of the seam and may be worked both in ascending order or descending order. Inclined slicing is in ascending order must be done in conjunction with the stowing, whereas in descending order, the slicing may be done with or without stowing. The method of mining may be board and pillar or long wall, but long wall, uh, but long wall is universally preferred. So in slicing, taken parallel to the roof and floor, worked about the ascending, in slicing, most of these are the preferable things. Inclined slicing with the caving. Applicable conditions of inclined slicing are inclined slicing with the caving and descending order applicable following conditions. The inclination of the seam is not more than 30 to 35 degrees. That is one thing. As in a steeper seams, caved stone may be sliced down in the face area. The roof is easily caveable. And, practice roof bed is less than 3 meter thick, depending on the compressive strength. The seam is normally seam is normally more than 8 to 9 meter thick, so that it can be extracted not more than 3 slices as a violating, which is necessary for making the artificial roofing. Uh, with this system of using usually last up to 3 slices, the thickness of the seam would be regular. The core may be hard in nature. So for application of ascending slices, the filing with filling, that is means stopping filling of the cave area. The seam should not be more than 8 to 9 meter thick, so that more than 3 slices are needed for the working of the seam. The dip should not exceed 60 degrees. The coal should be firm and should not be liable to spontaneous heating. The roof and floor should be strong, and compressibility of the filling material should be low. So this is a very important for the when the stowing process is going on. Inclined slicing in a descending order with the filling is normal, not practiced unless the roof conditions are bad and core seam is highly prone to self-heating. It can be, however, applied into seam. Appreciable thickness provided and the fill has a suitably property so as to enable its stability in the roof in the slices. But in steep seams, merit for organisms may be take the balancing its adoption of the preference of inclined slicing. Inclined sizing with the caving, one of the important aspects. Long wall method facility easy strata control, early settlement, compaction of roof rock, which permit easily opening up the lower slices. As long wall method enable complete removal of the coal without leaving any remnant or strokes. No localized concentration of the stress has to be encountered in the lower slices. You know, this is Assam, where one Trixie mining is there. French mining engineering extraction thick coals without stopping. An important feature of the French method is that the entire thickness is extracted by caving in suitable slices, starting from the roof and proceeding to the floor in a descending order. The natural roof of the top slice, first slice is allowed to collapse, rest on iron wire netting, uh, which serve as a uh, artificial roof for extraction of the subsequent slices till the bottommost slice coal is extracted. So inclined slicing, uh, inclined slicing with the caving. Uh, this is a inclined slicing with the inclined slicing with the caving, inclined slicing with the caving. Here, this is a figure showing that seam is also inclined in nature, so it's parallel to the inclined. Slices are also inclined. So this is one concept. Here, one, two, three, four, five slices are made. So there will be anchoring rope is there. If once caved material fall into the second slice, and second slice is extracted, and third slice so go and suppose there here. So bottom is this is a sub-level caving. The fifth slice I use. So first slice, second slice, and third and fourth is the sub-level caving, and fifth is as usual. So these are the bottom gates. These are the top gates. The anchoring of the rope. So this is a complete hierarchy of the slicing procedure. An inclined slicing with the caving in a descending order is done by long wall retreating method. Long wall method facilitates case of strata control and early settlement and compaction of the roof rock, which permitted opening up of lower slices, also with early settlement of roof rock. The risk of fire very much reduced as the long wall method enable complete removal of the core without leaving any remnants of strokes or no localized concentration of stress has to be encountered in the lower slices. Uh, in the formation of the roof of the lower slices, advantages may be taken. Bands, if they exist in suitable thickness. However, timbering below the band must be so regulated that the bands does not disintegrate. A layer of coal of adequate thickness between the slices can also be used as a roof for the lower slices. But leaving of coal may be lead fire and result in the lowering of the recovery in some situations. A layer of the 30 to 50 centimeter clay spread on the floor of the top slices uh, has consolidated sufficiently over the time and formed good roof for the subsequent lower slice. Wooden brand have also been used for the making make the false roofing or in some cases bamboos have been used to form the false roof. However, the normal practice is to form the false roof with the wire netting laid on the steel strips. Steel wire netting forms the roof last for the up to three slices and offer more flexibility in operation. Mm, an experimental main uh, Karnapura coalfield for making uh, the artificial roof to 5060 and steels were laid in a floor to form a mesh 40 centimeter into 40 centimeter over 1.5 meter wide into 25 mm road, 2 mm gravelized wire netting with a mesh of 20 mm were laid the adjusting the roll overlapping by 25 centimeter. These were dyed to steel strip mentioned above very 50 to 60 centimeters. Development of inclined splicing, the basic principles which must be taken into consideration for the range of development roads are as follows. Development of roadways should be served more than one slice. They should be driven firm ground and they should be preferably be located in rock so that in case of fire, the panel could be easily be sealed off the and isolated. In a situation where heavy pressure occur, development roads are driven in football at some distance from the seam as a lateral and are connected to the inclined slices by crosscuts or in flat or slightly dipping seams by blind shocks or rises. This location is advantageous to seal off and isolating the fire affected section also. But as a roll level college roadways, airways are made severe. All the slices that are usually driven and cold. The simplest method of development is drive down the independent development within the range of given slices. The broad feature of the working with thick seam by French method as follows. Uh, the thick the thickness thick seam can be extracted if it is a virgin, the nearly regular thickness and has a roof which cave regularly when the supports are withdrawn. The method is therefore well suited to roof bedded sandstone and far seam at 60-meter depth or more. Seam gradient should not be exceed 35 degrees, that is 1 in 1.4. The method employs long wall advancing and or retreating manner coal extraction. Uh, in a thick seam, say 12 mm thick, each slice maybe 2.4 meter thick, so that in the inclined slice method, 5 slices are available. The first is to topmost slice near the roof, operations of coal cutting, blasting, roof support. Carrier shifting extra or carried out on each slice. It is, however, possible to avoid such operations in one of the slices or skip over the slice by going over to the slice below the slice, which is the skipped over is called sublevel. Coal of the sublevel is taken when it is a collapse after the cabin of the slice below it. Sublevel caving is possible in inclined slicing method as well as horizontal slicing method. Gate roads have to be formed in the virgin seam for the associative longwall face in each slice and they serve the purpose of transportation, ventilation, material supplies, etc. The iron wire netting in the form road flat strip for strengthening wire netting is used. Here you can observe here. Yes, this is the wire net. So the roll down to the up to the fourth slice top. Uh, the wire netting is painted. This is the caved. This is the ascending order, so that we have developed to cave the floor. The bottom gate and top gate is concerned. The seam was opened out by three surface inclined, two along the roof, 60 meters apart, uh, and one along the floor. Present is central lighting. The figure shows the above. One of the roof incline was used for the supply of material and other for return from the gate. Gate roads were driven from the roof inclines to the lift limit of the panel, and the first slice was opened out between these gate roads. Entry to the second slice was made of the sinking the existing entries to the first slice to the level of second slice. New gate roads were driven, and the second slice phase was driven underneath. The netting the second slice phase was started from the one end of the panel, with the first slice ending leaving the 6 meter solid coal from the end of the purpose. The securing of artificial lift. The gate road was driven leaving 4.1 meter rib from the edge of the first slice gate road, so that wire netting remained in the position which was laid in the floor of the first slice. After the second slice was extracted, the entry to the third slice was obtained. The same way as for the second slice, a fresh top gate was driven from the third slice to away from the edge of the second slice top gate. Uh, the figure shows the location of gate roads in different slices. These are the figure shows the different slices of the gate roads. This is the bottom gate roads. The length of the face is 90 meters. Each one face is there 90 meters. This is length. The face was supported by 42-ton friction props and engine type roof bars. The system of supports in the first, second, and third spaces are illustrated in the figure. Engine caving, roof short holes. An average 20% advance 1.24 meters. Maximum yield of the prop was 40 centimeters immediately before main for. The normal yield being 20 to 30 centimeter. The yield of the prop is the second and third slice was 15 to the precautions taken in spontaneous fire. After first three slices were extracted, slice of the 2.4 meter were extracted in the floor of the seam and overlying done the sublevel caving as the bottom face along the floor retreated. In the above case, the slices were extracted one after the other, but generally all the three slices are extracted simultaneously, and such interval is kept between successive slices as well, giving sufficient time for the starter to settle to permit the working. Next slice. An interval of 60 to 70 meter between the slices is adjusted for condition obtaining some cold fluids. The wire netting which is anchored at gate roads, top slice serve as a roof of the second slice. The light is being extracted and a mining operation during extraction. The second slice are carried under this artificial roof of wire netting. Roof of second slice is a safe compared to that of the first slice, as there is no danger of the roof collapse in this way. The third and lower slices are extracted. The principles behind the French method of extraction is that when the roof gives after extraction of first slice and the rest of top flexible wire variety, the dynamic and unpredictable nature of the roof is lost. In second and subsequent slices, the roof on the wire consists of a dead weight for the was much more reliable and easier to handle. Inclined slicing with stubble. Inclined slicing slices are taken parallel to the roof floor of the seam and may be worked both in the ascending order or descending order. Inclined stresses in the ascending order must be done in conjunction with the stubing, whereas in a descending order, the slicing may be done with or without stubing. The method of mining may be board and pillar, but long one is universally preferred. Mining of thick seam, the stubbing is left on board and pillar method has been very popular in India. However, the method has not yielded desired results. The production and productivity have been low, and invariably after the second lift, roof trouble have been experienced in recent years. Inclined stressing on the long wall method in ascending order with the stubbing has been tried and has proved successful in method of mining thick and inclined seams. Uh, Sudhamandi Colliery Jaria coalfield seam 7.31 meter thick inclined at 35 degrees. And get up to 160 meter was mined successfully in inclined slicing. In ascending order with the hydraulic sandstone, the immediate roof of the seam is a medium grained sandstone 1.5 meter thick and the floor has 0.7 meters and 3 meter medium grained sandstone. Figure illustrated the main feature of the system of mining. Here I am showing the inclined slicing with the stubbing, the material, how filling and babble bamboo attachment, side barriers. This is very clear to you. Inclined slicing with the stubbing. Inclined slicing, descending order with filling is unless the coal seam is broken and roof cannot be caved easily. And seam is highly proven to self-heat. Above figure shows that uh, the working of thick seam inclined at 30 degrees by inclined slicing in a descending order with the stubbing. The three slices which each 2 meter thick are taken to the rise simultaneously. The internal between the slices being 250 to 60 meter before filling wooden planks collide on a rail, and after filling the rail of the artificial roof were removed in moderately inclined seams. The long wall face were advanced to the riser and the steeply dipping seam. The long wall face advance on the strike. By this method, seams of the quite appreciable thickness could be worked, provide the property of the fill material or educate to ensure proper stability of the filling in the uh, roof of the slices. Inclined slices in the ascending order with the stubbing. Mining of thick seam with the stubbing in a lift. Borden pillar method has been very popular. Uh, However, the method has not yet yielded the desired result. The production and product we have been second lift roof troubles. Is showing here. It is also similar inclined sizing with the stubbing practices. All dimension meters, first lift and second lift. The sand filling the lower sides and going to the upper side. The face 110 meters long laid out the strike of the seam and advance to the rise. The height of each slice is 3.5 meter and the panel has two. This is each 110 meter long on either side of the center and has vertical height of 110 meter. For mining the core, initially to stable each 6 meter deep are driven on the face of the coal is blasted off the solid on either side of this stable. The coal won. coal worn in the face is transported by the double chain conveyor deliver it on the retarders conveyor installation in the gate road, which in turn loads coal in the mine car in the level roadway down below the coal in the mine car, the level roadway down below coal in the mine car in the level roadway down below. The face is supported by the timber props and bars, two bars on the pole props. The bars of 3.5 meter long and the prop 3 meter. The distance between the adjacent lines being 1.2 meters. Of the face has advanced by 6 meters, the gate is stowed, leaving the timber supports. The distance between successive barricades being 60 meters. Well, stowing is done on one face, extraction is done on the other face. The distance between the faces being 25 meters after the bottom slice of 3.5 height has been extracted and stowed. The second slice of 3.5 meters is worked over it sometime. It is advantageous to leave a cone parting of 0.5 meter thickness over the sand in the form of a farm floor. The top and bottom slices may be worked simultaneously, and in that case, there will be four phases working simultaneously in a parallel. This allows concentration of working and higher production from panel. An output of 500 tons per day from the panel can thus be obtained in inclined sizes in ascending order. The stowing may be applied for to work thicker seam, also such as a 1x by x seams combined 1622 meter thick tipping at the 298 Siddhamandi Cauldron area coordinate. Before installing any machinery, roof supports and commencing coal extraction of the top slice, the wire netting is split on the floor of the top slice and suitably anchored in the gate roads. A chain conveyor and friction props are installed in their places over the wire netting. Friction props are hydraulic props with cantilevers. Steel have been used for supporting as a timber props, and bars may not have sufficient strength for the foot control in this method. The normal cutting, drilling, blasting, conveyor, shifting, etc. Longwall faces advanced and other roof supports the drawn to introduce the roof to grade. Extension pieces are added to the wire netting to keep it within the 1 meter of the long wall face all the time. And the roof caves in the broken rocks rest on the wire netting. The wire netting, which is anchored gate road, top slice surveys the roof, the second slice and the ladder is being extracted in mining operations. During extraction of second slices are carried on under this artificial roof wire net. Right. Roof of second slice, safe compared to that of the first slice, as there is no danger of roof collapse. In this way, third and lower slices are extracted. Principle behind the French method of extraction is that the roof caves after the extraction of the first slice rest top of the flexible wire netting. The dynamic and unpredictable nature of the roof is lost. In second and subsequent slices, the roof and the wire netting consist of dead weight and those much more reliable and easier handled. Next, applicable to horizontal slice. So horizontal slicing is applicable to mining fixings more than 50-meter thick, steeply inclined. It can be applied to deposit of any shape containing both hard and weak cores, self-ignited and limited paradigm stability of wall rocks is one of the important. Horizontal slicing can be done both in ascending order and descending order. When it is done in ascending order, firing of the gulf must be done. Filling of the gulf may be done by the hydraulic sandstone element. So this is a very important to what are the ascending or descending order? When it is a ascending order, but the filling must be when gulf is required. Descending order is not required. The as is the seam should be done by rope driven in the footwall and cross cuts driven from the footwall to the seam. The advantage of sitting main assist rod in the footwall is two folds. In case of fire occurring in the working, the panel can be easily sealed off. And the roadway driven in footwall is a more stable and still require very little maintenance. Horizontal slicing with the caving, deciding order is applicable in the following condition. The inclination of the seam is not more than 60 degrees as the steeper the seams. The caved stone may be sliced down in the face area. The roof is easily caveable. The seam is normal, not more than 8 to 9 meter thick, so that it can be extracted in not more than 3 slices. So it is a major things. This is a slice, second slice, and third slice, the fourth slice. So the wire mesh is going into like this. This is a simple way slicing method can be explainable. The neat long wall faces. This is a combination of slicing for particularly sublevel. This is called a sublevel caving system. You can observe here, all film material falling into the bottom slicing. It will, from here they collecting all the material to the shop to from shop to the go to the upside. This is a wall. This is a wall drawing. Material is pillar of material will be wing. Most of the metal mines, this type of sublevel caving method is used. Inclined cut and fill stoping in mine is concerned. This is the top slicing method. This is the top slicing method. The low loss and dilution system. Steeply dipping deposits over width more than 3 to 4 meter weak or wall high or value. Stop data production and personal productivity are low. Star high. The thickness of the seam should be regular. Coal may be hard in nature for applying the sublevel caving method. For the application of the ascending slices with filling, the seam should not be 8 to 9 meter thick so that not more than 3 slices are needed for the working of the seam. The deep should exceed 60 degrees. The core should be firm and should not be liable to spontaneity. The roof and floor should be strong and compressibility of the filling material should be low. Stubbing through possible is a rarely practiced in descending slicing, where stubbing must be done. Timber boards laid on the floor to hold the stubbing material. Instance existing where pneumatically stowed goof of the first slice has consolidated over the period of time. And when the second slice was worked beneath, the roof formed by the consolidation of the pneumatically stowed filler was found to be better than the original roof. Currently, both the practices, slice mining in the ascending order, descending order, are as used. However, while considering pros and cons of both these practice descending order slices with the caving, is preferable whenever the conditions are suitable for this adoption. Sound good, you know. Record ಆಯ್ತು. A prevalent advantage of descending order slicing or possibility of the working thick seam, the caving, reduce the risk of spontaneous heating. Horizontal sizing with caving, horizontal sizing in descending order with the artificial roof can be done both with caving or stuffing. The faces is open up across the seam with the central gallery driven on the strike. The figure illustrated the method of mining in the seam in which 3 slices were worked simultaneously. The interval between the faces of different slices being 70 meters. The face is supported by steel friction props and artificial steel bars along the central gallery. A row of wooden cocks is built, and the gallery itself is supported by the steel arches and wooden loggings. As the face progress, false roofing is laid out, which compresses or nettings feed over steel trap straps. After the face had advanced by the 1.2 meter, both side props are withdrawn from one and allowing the artificial roofing and the broken debris to come down, rest on the newly spread humanity. Simultaneously, a new row of props is erected next to the core face. Ventilation faces is by a small 5 HP fan which are drawn air from the central gallery and forces is to be furthest end of the face through the collapsed tubes. This is a horizontal slicing with the caving. This is a figure. Uh, New gallery made, the floor, the gallery being the deep end for the working the lower slices, roof, and false roofing, face of the slices, face of slices, and face of slices. The fall air from the face returned to the central gallery, joining the main body and intake air. This is one of the major disadvantage in the particularly a type of horizontal slice. It could be avoided by having separate intake and return, one along the roof and the other along the floor. But maintaining the two roadway, the thickness of the seam could be such as to open up long wall face at the length 60 to 70 meters depth. When the face has advanced up to 60 meters, the top gallery, two stages, 1.5 meter each, so that the floor level lower by 3 meters. And the central gallery has been lowered by 3 meter, two gallery taken at right angle to the central gallery, and along face are started immediately below the artificial roof, right along the floor of the next higher slices. Similarly, when the second size face has been advanced 60 meters, the central gallery is lowered so that by 3 meters. Faces in all sizes are similar to the same height. The same central gallery serve as the three faces. Commonly, three such faces work simultaneously. Coal from the faces is delivered on the central gate belt in the dual face conveyor. The gate belt loads on the truck belt installed in one of the gallery. Or just racing with the stopping, also given here. The principal level of gallery driven through the seam connected with these drifts from the principal gallery. Normally, eight long wall faces, 4 foot wall sides, and four other hanging wall side were opened and were advanced on the strike. The coal was cut by plastic of the solid and chain conveyor instead the face of the transfer of the coal. At the face advance, the coal was stowed pneumatically, and after the first slice 3 meter high, the second slice was started out. For opening out the second slice, the preparation work was done when the first slice extraction was still going. This is orbital sizing with stowing, very clearly showing here. So here worked out stowed area, cross cut. These are horizontal driveway slices. The three or four play uh, along the principal gallery trend. Rises were taken over the stowed gulf going up towards the footwall side of the sea, where these rises had gone up to 3 meter above the top of the stowed area. Levels were driven on both sides of it in advancing strike. When such a level joins, the similar level driven from the other issues. In this way, the principal gallery in the top slice is a normal read before the first slice had been extracted before starting the second slices. The principal gallery in the lower slice was stowed. The floor of the first and second slice is 30 50 cm clay deposit before commenced stowing. This layer of clay caught, compressed and hardened and formed roof of the last slice block which was mined below the top block. The long wall face advanced 1.2 meter long per day and panel paper production 400 tons per day. At gallery, Cherry Coalfield, 9th and 10th seams combined, was opened up and horizontal mining system was worked by the horizontal face. Ascending order with hydro sandstone. A block between 200 and 300 horizontal was opened up, which measured the 100 mm either side of the central gallery. To open up the block, three raises were driven along the floor of the seam. The first phase was started such as that the parting of 2.1.3 existed between the level. The phase was supported by timber supports which were left behind as the go first stone. The phase was fitted with this chain conveyor which transferred Installation is football. The gate conveyor transfer coal to another conveyor fitted in the central gallery, and for its onboards transport downhill to the chute, which are loaded on mine car. Standing a lateral at 300 meter at horizontal as the first slice was extracted and groove stored. The second slice was opened, outworked in the same manner. So sublevel caving is another special method in slicing also. Sublevel caving is applicable to thick seam with a cable roof and a soft core. Caveable roof and soft core. The blasting hard roof can get also caved and hard core seam can be softened. The system is simplest form of consist of mining and slice along the roof by normal longwall method or with caving with flexible artificial roof. Laid in the coal along the floor of the first slice. Mining of another slice along the floor of the seam and taking down coal parting between the two slices by long hole blasting, which is loaded out a conveyor along the floor of the seam. The figure method of 6.6 meter thick coal seam by sublevel caving. In this method of long one face takes slices 1.8 meter long the roof of the seam. So here I am showing the one figure, simplest to understanding purpose. Sublevel caving. So this is a elevator cave down the collecting the here. This is another method of representation sublevel caving. So easily cavable. This portion without any by gravity is falling to the lower level. Upper level is going a normal mining. So wire net mesh is going on. This is allowed to cave by easily cavable property and collecting in the bottom level. The face retreating with the net wire netting and or steel bands is laid over the floor roof. Farm artificial roofing. Some 30 meter behind the top face another long wall face takes slice of the 1.8 meters long the floor. The middle coal plates, which is usually thicker than the top of the bottom slice, is mined at distance of the 3.5 meters. Behind the floor long wall face by blast with the long shot is drilled from under support of the above lower face. So while this method applicable to irregular seams, it has a number of drawbacks. They are problem working face at the roof if the roof have seam undulating and fragile, winning of previous slices channels, the effect of the strata pressure. The coal to undermine is distressed and requires short wiring in the breakage. Well, horizontal slicing method is done in the following order. One is ascending and descending, diagonal, all the above. So this one huge question was expected in the competitive examinations concept, which is helpful for the ESET examination as well as competitive examinations purpose. Another question is which horizontal slicing method slices are taken, particularly perpendicular to the floor and roof, inclined roof and floor, parallel to the roof and floor along the horizontal plane. Horizontal slicing method already is clear. Right. The inclined slicing method is used in the following cases. The rope is capable. Inclined is more than 30 to 35 degrees. Coal may be hard, all the above. So this type of questions you can be expected in the coming examination point of view. Well, I hope that slicing methods, particularly from the seam is inclined, slices are inclined. Seam is vertical in nature, but horizontal in slices. Different combinations with stowing, without stowing, ascending or descending order. Most of the ascending orders we have to go through the capable and stowing order, but in descending order, Sometimes we require the without stowing is also possible. Combination of the multiple slicing methods using, and also sublevel caving is one of the unique methodology that is also we are learning here. So I hope that you are understanding everything. Go through the standard textbooks and read further. Thank you.